Hello everyone, my name is Jacob and today we're listening to Jpegmafia's new album, I Lay Down My Life For You. Jpegmafia has been on a run lately ever since he released EP and Offline in 2022. I think those albums were really good. Those are probably my favorite releases from Peggy. Scaring the Hoses up there, that one was really good and that came out last year. The DLC pack came out after that, and that one was all... I would say the DLC pack was better than the actual album, but both those releases are very good. The two singles that he dropped with the rollout of this album were Don't Rely on Other Men and Sin Miedo. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. This album is weird. I feel like it's going to be weird because based off the two singles, it feels like Peggy is very experimental, but it feels like he's experimenting further. Like his sound just keeps changing every single year that he releases something, and it's very entertaining to see. So I'm very excited for this album, and I'm ready to get into it. So without further ado, this is track 1. I scream this in the mirror before I interact with anyone. That is a long ass title. But yeah, we're going to get right into it.
If I was an NBA player, I'd be Dylan Brooks, but worse.
Okay. Oh my god, that guitar is crazy. Oh, it's gone? Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. I like the energy. I like the energy a lot. It seems like he's reaching into a like heavy metal bag and pulling out little bits and pieces. The guitar was crazy. I love the guitar. The drums are definitely my favorite part. I would say Peggy's drums has always been like top tier. And I love the sound of like acoustic drums a lot better than like electronic drums. So I really like the use of like the realistic sounding drums on this. And then that end part where the switch up came in, I don't know what those like sounds were, but I really like those sounds. Peggy has like, the thing I like about JPEG the most is that he takes the weirdest sounds and he'll like turn them into something that sounds good to listen to. So that's what I like about Peggy the most, is how he's able to just take really weird sounding noises and make them sound musically or like sonically good. I did like that track. I like that track a lot. I think it's a good intro. I think it sets the tone of the album very well. Based off what I've heard from the singles, I think it fits the theme very well. It's definitely a lot more... Is it more aggressive? I don't know. I wouldn't say it's more aggressive. I think it fits. Track 2 is Sin Miedo. I've already heard this one, but I think I might give it a... Yeah, I'm going to give it a re-listen just to refresh my brain on it. So here's track 2. I want to know what that sample is. The Big Booty Hoes. That guitar solo is so good, dude. And the pause. Oh my god. Love it. I think that's my favorite part. That whole end part with the like the spaceship sound. But yeah, that sounds like video game noises or something. Rainbow Road. All right. So yeah, that was Sin Miedo. Like I said, already heard that track, so that was a good refresher. I can definitely say with confidence that that song is like amazing. I like the contrast of the electric... How do I want to say this? I like the contrast of the electric sounds with the like heavy metal sounds. So it'll go from like his regular like experimental stuff over to like the guitars, the guitar solo, the hard beating drums. Like you can hear when it's transitioning in the song, you can hear like the strings being scratched by like the guitar pick, and it's just like, oh. Anyways, that song's good. That song's really good. Most artists I don't like whenever they don't have a consistent beat or whatever, and they can't really stay like on the beat. Some artists are really bad with that. Like sometimes they're bad at like staying in pocket or whatever. But Peggy's really good at like not having a consistent like beat to stay on, but still staying in like a pocket, I guess. I don't know. Like the drums are very like, they're all over the place and they're not just like a constant drum beat like most rap songs. And I like that he's able to kind of like keep a flow going on top of that. We'll be moving on to track 3, which is I'll Be Right There. Sounds like All My Heroes Are Cornballs. Oh, hold on. This could be crazy. This song has a completely different vibe from the last one. Switch up. Maybe. Where's the teasing? All right. So that was I'll Be Right There. I like the... Yeah, I think that's a gospel sample. I'm just going to assume it has very gospel sounding stuff. So that song kind of reminded me of Hazard Duty Pay. That was just like an overall good rap song. I didn't really pay attention to the bars that much because I don't really do that with Peggy. I just pay attention to like the energy. But some of the bars are funny sometimes. I'm glad there wasn't a switch up on that one because I liked the beat on that one, and I feel like it could have been a little shorter. I feel like it drawed on a little too much, but that one was good. I like that one. I also like the switch up in the energy, how it went from like the heavy metal stuff to kind of this like lighthearted gospel sample, just straight up rapping. Let's move on to the next track, which is It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Okay, this one's weird. What language is that, bro? Oh. Guitar? Okay, well, I think that answers my question. That sample was probably something Brazilian. Because that language did sound like kind of like a Spanish kind of whatever. That song was kind of weird. I don't know if I like that one yet. I like the mix whenever it would switch back and forth from like the normal talking to like the whispering. It would like be on both sides at the same time, and then the talking parts would be like centered, if that makes sense. So like you hear it in the middle and then the whispers are like more far out. I don't know if I like the sample. It kind of sounded like a minion talking. Maybe I'm watching Despicable Me right now. There was a little part where there was kind of like a guitar, and then there's no guitar, so he kind of teased me with it, and I don't like that. I don't like being edged. I feel like that song was a little longer than it needed to be, but I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like it. I did like the heavy bass at the end. The heavy bass was cool. It kind of sounded like a synth bass, whatever. Had a lot of distortion to it. But yeah, other than that, I have nothing else to say. The next song is called New Black History with Vince Staples. I was very excited to see the features on this album. It is Vince Staples and Denzel Curry, who I just reviewed last week. I do like when Denzel Curry and Jpegmafia work together. On Vengeance with Zilla Kami, I like the energy that song has, along with Bald and I guess what would be Bald Remix. I do like the original version of Bald better, but Denzel Curry is good on the remix. So I'm very excited to hear that song because Denzel Curry has also been on a run lately, like I said in my last video. Vince Staples, I don't really listen to Vince a lot, but what I have heard from Vince is very good. Like I haven't listened to Big Fish or any of his other projects, but I did listen to, I don't remember the name of the album he dropped this year, but it has Black and Blue on it. I remember that song. That song is so good. If you haven't listened to that album, go listen to that immediately. That album is amazing. This is New Black History with Vince Staples. Is that a Future feature? I mean, not feature, sample? Don't get this good till they death. Real from Italy must be kidding me. Northside, Long Beach, Aborigines can't get rid of we me Black History. Cause I'm in that mode. On my own, I got that flavor. Jonathan Major Papers. Especially when y'all catching up with PDFs and... That caught me off guard. Oh, hold on. What did I just say on the last song, bro? Listen, Peggy, I know you ain't gonna watch this because you don't know who I am. Obviously. But you gotta stop edging people, or me specifically, because I don't know who else has this issue. But like, you put like the best beats at the end of the songs. He did this on the DLC pack for Scaring the Hose. I think it was Hermanos. The sample or like the beat switch he did at the end of that song was like amazing, and he should have rapped on that, but he just used it as an outro, and he always does that, and it makes me angry, but it still sounds good, so I'm not that angry. I thought there was gonna be like a like style of this album, but I feel like every song has its own environment that could be fleshed out into its own album. Like the intro was kind of like heavy metal. He could make a whole heavy metal album. Because then the next song has like, it does have the heavy metal, but it's got the electronic stuff. And then the song after that is like a gospel sample rap that like I'm used to seeing from him. And then the one after that is like something completely different. I haven't heard from Peggy yet, but maybe I just haven't listened to him enough. And then that one, he used a Future sample and made it sound like something that Future would like not even step close to. At least I think that was Future. I'm going to assume that was Future because it sounded like Future. I wish that song would have been longer. Maybe utilize the beat at the end. I did like the Vince Staples feature. Vince sounded a little weird on that to me, but once again, I don't listen to Vince that much, so maybe he does stuff like that. But I did like Peggy's verse a lot. I like the energy that he brought on that. And the drums were really good on that song. So far, the best part of this album has been the drums. Like I said at the beginning, Peggy knows how to do drums, and no one can tell me otherwise. If they try to argue, they can argue with a wall because I'm not changing my opinion. So I've already heard Don't Rely on Other Men, so I'm not going to replay it because I listen to it like on a daily basis because it's good. It's like addicting. The drums on that song are crazy. That song goes crazy in the car. Especially like turn it up to max volume, blow your eardrums out, blow your speakers, maybe blow up the car while you're at it. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Don't Rely on Other Men is probably my favorite song on this album so far from what I've heard. So we're going to skip to track 7, which is Vulgar Display of Power. Ooh. Bring that guitar in. Oh yeah. The tone of that guitar is so nasty. Oh yeah. So the first thing I'm going to say, which might sound crazy, but I can see the Kanye West influence that Peggy always talks about in his interviews and how he thinks Kanye is like the greatest producer of all time. I can definitely see the influence because in My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, if you've heard that, there's a lot of guitar usage. And I feel like that song kind of reminded me of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. If Peggy made a full rock album, I would not be disappointed. That's what I can say. That song was really good. Once again, drums were on fire. He needs to relax on the drums. They're getting a little too good. We're going to move on to the next one. It's called Ex-Military, and it's 5 minutes long. Holy balls. I feel like this song's going to go crazy. I'm not ready for a beat switch. Oh, yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah. He's barking. He's a dog. He's got a minute left. What's he gonna do? Wow. That song was really good. That's definitely one of the best songs on the album. I like the uses of strings on the end. I wonder if he's sampling a song or if he's outsourcing to actual string players. I think that would be really cool. I would like to see him use more orchestral instruments because that's different from what he usually does. I like I like how he mixes things. I've said this multiple times and I keep repeating myself because I'm an idiot. I love how he mixes the experimental stuff with the like the regular stuff. I really like how he does that, and he meshes it together. He meshes it together really well, so it doesn't sound bad. It's coherent. It's very nice to the ears. Mixing. I think he does all his mixing by himself, and let's just say that brother is fantastic. I'm absolutely glazing this time around, this review. And I don't care. Suck my balls. Next track is Jihad Joe. I'm gonna assume I said that correctly. Let's get right into it. This one's gonna bang.
Can I take all these dick riders? My bitch addicted to hating and kissing.
You can't take all these dick riders. Guess I'll leave. Switch up. Oh. I was right. That song was gonna bang. That song was good. I like the switch up. That drop was like heavy. That was so heavy and that was so good. Nice, short and sweet. I like those kinds of tracks from Peggy. I like the really short ones that just hit you hard and fast, pause, and then they leave, and you're like, wow, I feel satisfied. I don't know what I'm saying. The next song is JPEG Ultra with Denzel. I'm very excited for this one because Denzel Curry, like I said, has been on a run, and if he disappoints me, I'm going to punch a hole in the wall. This song is also almost 5 minutes long, just like Ex-Military, so hopefully it doesn't go on too long, but since there is a feature, I'm hoping it won't matter that much. But here we go.
You think you know? Out the trenches for you flabbergasted fat fucks. This your boy Denzel Curry and this bitch. Doing one time, hold up.
Niggas be begging for shit to be different. Until they get it, then they treat it indifferent. People projecting they bullshit on you because they dissatisfied with the life that they live in. And you never catch me out here looking like these dirty ass underground rappers locked in an Airbnb somewhere with a bunch of niggas playing with each other's dicks, 0 women around, looping records nobody wants to hear.
He dissing. Oh.
Look, on my knees.
That was JPEG Ultra. Peggy was dissing, as usual, other rappers. A lot of rappers. Most rappers. I like the switch up on that one. Like, I think it was like halfway to where it went to the acoustics. The acoustics sounded really good. Him rapping, his voice comes off very aggressive. Like, just the tone of his voice and how he, like, I think he does that on purpose. The way he uses his voice and then puts it over, like, a soft acoustic instrumental, the contrast of it, like, works really well in his favor. I don't know about the first half. I think that the bars about the underground rappers was funny. I did like Denzel. I think that they probably could have mixed that part a little better because the instrumental sounded louder than Denzel, so it was kind of hard to hear him, which is unfortunate, but I like the energy that he brought. Track 11 is either on or off the drug, so here we go.
I've named this one JPEG.
Oh, this is way different. Holy crap. I need to hear him sing.
Some of you niggas be talking right out of the side of your neck, and I can't.
Oh my God.
Some of you niggas be sitting around all day hating on niggas they never met. I just feel sad for you, little bro. Baby, you know when I'm wildin' out, I make a mess. I keep the cannon like Nick, put my bitch in the vest. What did that last one contribute but pussy and stress? Nothing.
I'm looking for her.
Oh, he's singing. No. Why? Stop. We gotta pause for a second. That was probably the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. That was like, I like started to feel something through my bones when listening to that. I wish he would have sung more, dude. God, that was like how it all came together and like Holy, I don't even know what to say. That was amazing. That's my new favorite song. That's way better than Don't Rely on Other Men. And that one's really good. So this one is like miles, like, that song was like, doesn't even belong on the album. That should be on a pedestal. Okay, I'm going a little too far, I think, maybe. No, I'm not. No, I'm going to stand on business, okay? That song was amazing. That was a 10 out of 10 on its own. I was trying to pay attention to the lyrics a little more, and that song did feel a little more introspective, so I think that added to like the emotion of the track that I felt. But yeah, that was, wow. That was good. That was amazing. Like, that doesn't even sound like something that he would make. Yeah, that was really, really good. That's definitely going to the playlist. The next track is track 12, Loop It and Leave It. I hope he does more singing in the last 3 songs because he teased me with it, and now I want to hear it, especially with the effect that he had on his voice.
Yeah, I know I got scuffles ahead of me. When I speak in my mind, it's unsettling. I know liberal feelings is delicate. Fly the plane when you feed them their medicine. Gotta...
Oh, there come the strings again. That was just another pretty song. Like those, the orchestra or whatever that was at the end, that was just pretty. I don't know where he's going with these last 2 tracks, but if they keep the same vibe, man. Oh, I tell you what, partner. Okay, I apologize. Now we're on to track 13. Finally, actually this time. Don't Put Anything on the Bible featuring Buzzy Lee, whom I know nothing about. This is the song he used to tease the album, I think. Is Buzzy Lee a woman? That's not what I was expecting. You could sleep to this song. Alright, so that was Don't Put Anything on the Bible. I think that was the song he used to tease the album that was on his like trailer or whatever. And I saw something funny, like the top comment was, instead of scaring the hose, he's inviting the hose. I think the feature, I'm gonna assume the feature was the woman who was singing for half the song. Her voice was very pretty. There was like a vocal effect that she had on her voice that made it sound like distorted, but not too distorted, where it was like very obvious. Like I feel like you would have to wear headphones to hear the distortion. And I like how calm Peggy sounded on the second half. I'm really liking the use of strings on this album. I thought that it would be completely different. I thought this album would be super high energy, like heavy metal. And it's like taking a complete 180 and is like the complete opposite. And unfortunately, we are on the last song, which is I Recovered From This, which is not something I can say after listening to this album. So yeah, this is track 14.
Funny how time flies when you're having fun. Please stay.
It's not that I don't love my bitch, but I don't love these side hoes neither. She throwing that shit back at me and I'm catching it like I'm a wide receiver.
Holy shit. You know that one meme of, I think his name's Dabo, the one guy who made the video reacting to like, I think it was Frank Ocean's Blonde, and like the meme of him crying to that. That's how I feel after hearing the last 4 songs. Wow. I wasn't expecting that at all. And that song was genuinely like kind of sad. Like I could cry to that song. Yeah, he talked about like, she throwing it back and I catch it like a wide receiver. But like everything else he says on that song is like actually kind of sad and like relatable. Yeah, I would love to see more introspective stuff from Peggy in the future, especially with that kind of vibe, because that's just like top tier. That was top tier. I was, like I said, was not seeing any of that coming, especially that song. Like that was like crazy. Overall, the album was really good. I think once it hit like the halfway mark, like the first 4 songs were kind of like not all of them were good, but once it hit a certain point, it just like hit the ground running and it kept running. Mid album is when there was like no skips. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I don't know if I'll come back to that one. It might grow on me, but as it stands now, I don't like the sample. New Black History was pretty good. Can't remember Vulgar Display of Power, and I just listened to it. But But yeah, I would say once it hits Don't Rely on Other Men, every song after that is solid. I kind of wish he would have gone more into the heavy metal stuff, like the guitars and the hard-hitting drums. But at the same time, it's like we see this new side of Peggy, at least that I haven't seen. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan in the world. I haven't heard every single thing that he's dropped. But I do like this side of Peggy, and I want to see more of it. And I also want to see the side that's like the heavy metal stuff. Both of those are intriguing to me, and I would love to see more of it. Those last 4 songs is like the best 4-track run I've heard so far this year. Well, Loop It and Leave It is all right. I feel like that could have kind of been attached to either On or Off the Drugs, maybe. Like it could have been one song, a twofer. I really like the mixing on this album. The mixing of the vocals, it was all over the place, and the instruments, it wasn't contained to just like basic mixing. It was all, it would switch ears, switch sides, or whatever you want to say. I'm like speechless. I genuinely don't know what to say. I might have to, I feel like this album's going to grow on me a lot more, especially the first half. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. This album was just like, God. The whole point of the video is me talking about the album, and I have no idea what to say. If you're watching this and you made it this far in the video, please go listen to the album by yourself. It is worth it. It is worth the 40 minutes, especially the last 4. I'm going to keep repeating that over and over. That outro is the best outro I've heard this year. I can confidently say that. I don't know what else to say. Maybe I'll be able to say more later on this year. I'm thinking of definitely doing a recap of the stuff that has dropped this year, because there's so much good stuff that's been coming out. But as it stands now, I have no idea what I want to say about this album. I think it's hard for me to talk about it when I just listen to it. That last album was easier because it was more coherent, but this one, it's like, I don't know what to say. It's like shock. I'm in shock right now. Yeah. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Go listen to this album. Go watch my other videos if you want, and listen to those albums if you haven't heard them. I was planning on doing Kanye's Vultures 2 next, but I don't know. I might switch it up and do a gaming video, because I kind of want to do that. Kind of want to switch it up. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.
Some of you niggas be talking right out of the side of your neck, and I can't believe that.
That was probably the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.